Okay, so we're getting closer and closer to our goal of Instacart Diamond status by completing 200 orders in less than 30 days. We're getting really focused in and dialed in on providing great customer service, managing our time, and we're adding back in food deliveries to make sure that we're kind of adequately managing our finances as well. I feel more optimistic that we're going to be able to do this within 30 days, but it's definitely taking a strong toll. So let's find out what comes next on day 6 of my quest to get to Instacart Diamond in less than 30 days.
Hey, good morning. It's December 12th. We are on our quest to get Instacart Diamond status in 30 days. The reason for that is I have not done a ton of Instacart. The week of Thanksgiving, all the food apps were very slow, so I did Instacart. And I did so many orders. I got 50 some orders that week that I realized I was 25% of the 200 orders necessary to get to Diamond status. And allegedly with Instacart, once you get to Diamond status, you get priority batch access, higher tips, all that sort of stuff. So because the food apps have slowed down and because I have this opportunity, I've been trying to get to 200 orders by December 31st. That has been an absolute...
We are audio and video recording this ride for your safety.
My dash cam. That has been an absolute, grueling affair. Yesterday, December 11th, I did 10 total orders. 4 separate batches, 3 batches of 2, 1 batch of 4. I did a 4-batch order yesterday. Now I understand why people always say don't do them, but I'm proud that I was able to do them without any issues. It was pretty flawless. But I did those 10 batches for $73.95, which was basically, a little bit over $7 per batch. And I think most people would argue that shopping for groceries and delivering to someone's house, you should be paid more than $7. So I hope the effort is worth it. So far, if I'm being honest with you, if this is how it's going to stay, I probably will not continue to do Instacart. But if the effort was worth it, you'll find out along with me, and maybe you'll be inspired to put in the effort to do the 200 batches to get yourself to Diamond status, or if you're just going to remain a cherry picker for the occasional Instacart offer. Some things I have learned so far is, number 1, do try to stay to 1 to 3 stores that you're very good at. Number 2, don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask people who work in the store, even ask, I'm seeing customers who I know now frequently. So ask other customers, hey, do you know where this bag of cucumbers is? I never knew they sold cucumbers, mini cucumbers in a bag. And number 3 is try to take care of your mental health. The biggest myth that these gig companies have perpetuated is the idea that, gig work is like the college kid or the stay-at-home mom who's just picking up a couple extra hours, or somebody, delivering groceries after work just to get extra money for vacation. That is not the primary base of their revenue. Their primary base of revenue comes from full-time drivers who do this all the time. And most of those people work long days and the work is very difficult. And because of that, you see commercials for DoorDash. It's oh, you make up to $18 an hour. And so people, I think, very rightfully think oh, well, this Dasher is making $18 an hour, so I'm going to throw them $2. I'm a good person. And that is, I think, largely why we are where we are in the gig economy. It was a lot better during the pandemic, obviously, but now people are really struggling. So even more people than ever are doing this on the apps. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge across the board. So hopefully it is worth the time, energy, and effort that we put into 200 orders on Instacart. And at the end of the day, we see some better batches. If not, I want you to learn along with me. My market is Las Vegas. And I've been trying to go all over the city of Las Vegas so you can see different parts of the market. And today it's 10 o'clock. I haven't had a single batch worth taking yet. I started at 9:30. There's a batch here at this Smith's that is just sitting here, $6.25, $1 tip. Looks like 3 items. So I'll sit here and see if the batch goes up, but I'm not going to take that. And there's a couple of reasons why that we'll talk about later. So let's get to this day, December 12th. We have 70 orders to go. Let's see how many of those we knock out today. Okay, we did get a batch worth taking, 921, 6 items, 3 miles at Smith's. Super simple shop. This is a long-term Instacart customer. I like taking those orders because it's they know how to, get back to you on the app, and they know what they're looking for. They usually have good replacements. So let's get this one done. And that's one down for the day. And this is an order I feel good about taking. It feels like a good value for the customer and for myself. Gain, force flex, hard to do. Boom, found it. Okay. See what I did here?
This is for peach soda. It looks orange in the apps. That's how easy it is to mess this up sometimes.
Okay, that offer was very simple. Customer was very nice, very straightforward. It took less than a half an hour for the entire thing. We just took this other offer for $12. It's 12 items. It's like 2 of each though, so 20, so it's 21 total. And I watched this offer go up from like $9 to $12. So that is something you can do if an offer is not getting a lot of traffic, because you can just see like, is it going to get any better? And for 12 bucks, it's worth it. It's a very short trip, so let's take that order.
Okay, so that was a very fast shop. Customer was very responsive. So we were trying to get an energy drink and it wasn't in stock, but this actually proves the point of like really knowing your stores very well. And when you get a good store that you like. So this energy drink was in stock. It was just in a different, it was just on an end cap. So I went from having to replace an item that a customer maybe didn't want to getting the item they wanted. And through talking to the customer, that just demonstrates that you're trying really hard to help them, and they're gonna appreciate that. One of my first jobs was working at Target as a cart attendant, and I'll always remember the front end supervisor. His name was Jay. Jay would power wash the carts like every month by himself personally, and that was always really cool. That definitely doesn't happen in Las Vegas. The carts are nasty. So I always make sure to check the shopping cart before I grab it. One, 2 of these bad boys. I've really been checking the UPC codes to make sure I have the same product, because they can look the same even though they're not the same. So this one is 910 and 910. Cool. The shop's going fast. We only have 7 more to pick. I'm glad I took this order. Maybe Thursday will be better than Wednesday.
All right, that was easy money. Let's see, what was that? I'm trying to get better. Oh no, I just got a good delivery order too. Going to the same place. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm gonna grab this delivery order and then grab this wine order. Okay, neat. I'm gonna multitask. So anyways, that was an online order for Smith's. Very straightforward, very simple. 20 items. It was a there was a product that required ID, so that was always, it's always kind of a hassle. They were really nice about it, but I think sometimes people are not expecting that, so it's like, you know, what are you gonna do? Anyways, that's done. That's done. Now I have a total wine order that's 12 bucks for one item. So shop 12 bucks, done. And then the next is I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and do some Uber Eats for a little bit. So I'll see you in a bit. Today's shaping up to be a much better Thursday than Wednesday. That was a very easy alcohol delivery. The customer was very polite, at the door, ready to go. So nice. Alcohol deliveries, like I definitely put some assessment into like what area of town, what type of product is being purchased. This was a very nice bottle of wine, very nice part of town. I didn't have any concerns. Customer was very polite. It was a very good experience. So, you know, I don't miss Uber. I don't miss that crazy noise. Look at this bird. I don't know. He's got a certain vibe about him. What's up, bro?
All right, so we have shop number 5. We're at Smith's again. Different Smith's, different part of the town. Getting some cold medicine, some other things. Having some trouble finding this stuff. Zycam, there we go. 25 tablets. This customer asked me to come inside. We're We're gonna assess if that is something we're comfortable with. It's later than I wanted it to be. Of course. I went to the wrong side. Of course. This is my third thing today that I've had to verify ID. All right, it's been a long day. We're gonna grab one more shop at Sephora. It's gonna take us back home, closer to home at least. And I'm definitely gonna ask for some help today. So we'll go ahead and get some help at Sephora. It's always really nice here, I think. Okay, that's another day in the wraps. So I took one last order at Sephora, that last one. It did not pay very well at all. I did do 6 orders today. That's the minimum I have to do. Again, we had a pretty low paying day. 6 total orders. That last order paid $9.72. It had a $3 tip, which I feel like is fair, except for the distance was like crazy, but for what she bought, that was a very fair tip, I think. I did have to go inside someone's house today, which, as a reminder, you do not have to do that. You do not have to do that. You do not have to do that. This was an elderly person, and I felt like it was the right thing to do, and I felt safe. The one thing that happened was when I turned around to leave, there was someone else in the house. I totally did not notice. So that's making me rethink that strategy. But I talked to, before I went in, I was actually on the phone with Instacart for something. And they said, like, yeah, you can go in, but you also don't have to go in. So, it's totally my choice. Totally what the customer asked for. It was the right thing to do. In general, don't go in people's houses. I'm a grown man. Can defend myself. I made a decision. I probably wouldn't make it again. I could just as easily have said, hey, no, ma'am, I'm sorry, but I need to leave this here. Yeah, so 6 total orders today. Got the minimum. Today ended up being interesting because I ended up focusing more on like Uber Eats. To give you an example, and this isn't even loaded in yet. Let's see. I made more money on Uber Eats today in much less time.
We are audio and video recording this ride for your
I
safety.
will have made over $100 on Uber Eats today. And DoorDash is just trash. So I don't know if I'm going to keep doing DoorDash at all. It's just honestly humiliating. So there we go. The quest continues. We have 64 more orders to go. A couple of pieces of advice that I would close with today. Things that I'm learning, especially now. Again, shopping at the same store, being familiar with your stores helps a lot. It makes you speed things up much, much faster. There are times when if so many things are out of stock, you're probably in your better interest to cancel the order. Like if you have a 10 item order and 5 things are out of stock, that might be worth canceling and maybe suggesting the customer shop at a different store because they're going to be very unhappy. You're probably going to get a bad rating. The third one is safety is very important. I know I just talked about don't go in people's houses. In retrospect, I am thinking to myself, I shouldn't have done that. So the last part of that is on safety is the very last delivery I went to was out in sort of like a more rural part of Las Vegas. And it was dark, no street lights, and it was like farm country. And, those are situations where you have to be extra vigilant. And what I mean by that is like, do you have the right house? Is the house have a porch light? Do you have a flashlight, right? So like in areas like that in Las Vegas, if there was an area where I thought maybe I could get shot, that's actually an area where I would say more likely than going like in a sketchy part of downtown. Because you go into a rural area, maybe you go to the wrong house, they're not expecting someone, all of a sudden there's a firearm involved. So that's just, something to close the day out with. I'm only 64 orders away from 200. I basically only have to do 10 more days of 6 orders a day, a couple more here and there, and that's going to happen. Not taking anything for granted. I will say it was very hard to get that last order. I took it just to be done for the day. As the day went on, it was hard to get orders. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this is helpful. And I hope it's enlightening about what it takes to get to diamond status. And I really hope you watch all of this at the end and then you see, was it worth it? That's my goal. Was it worth it to grind away on Instacart for diamond status? I'm tired if you can't tell. Have a good night or day, whenever you're watching this. Bye.